welcome back to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast. I'm Jessica Heffley. What'd y'all think about last week? That freedom prayer experience. Have you set aside the time to actually do that exercise where you actually close your eyes, actually spend some time with your holy imagination? He has come to set the captive free. And so I'm loving hearing some of these stories pouring in of your experience or how Jesus made it so personal for you and always does to help you break free. It doesn't matter what Jessica says, but what he says. So I love that you guys are experiencing that from last week's episode. This week is why being an entrepreneur is all that and a bag of chips. Yes, I said that. And yes, that cracks me up. Okay, I don't even know how to spell entrepreneur. Like, let's be for real. You can be successful and not know how to spell. And that is why being an entrepreneur is all that in a bag of chips. So I have got 6 quick reasons to remind you why what you are doing as a business owner is so stinking awesome. I've been reading through the whole Bible. So I finished the Old Testament. I'm in the New Testament. Like I've said, I can't recommend enough the Bible recap. It is a free podcast and a free resource to really help you make sense of what's going on while you're reading the culture and really seeing the big love story of God interweaved throughout the entire Bible. Don't get caught in the weeds. It's an excellent resource to help you understand. Anyways, so basically, over and over and over and over and over in the entire Bible, that God rescues them. God rescues them out of Egypt, and then they want to go back. God rescues them from something, and then they're like, "Oh, this isn't as great as we." They forget how amazing it is, or they forget the story of freedom, and then they want to go back to where they are slaves. Now, that's a little bit dramatic for this example, but you wanted to be an entrepreneur because it's awesome. And here's 6 reasons why it's awesome. So when you get reminded of like, oh, wait, maybe I should go back to my 9 to 5 job, or, oh, this feels a little bit too uncomfortable. Everybody else, quote, air quotes, is doing traditional jobs. Maybe I should do that too. Like, let me snap you out of it. 6 reasons. Number 1, you get to create a different future. This is why being an entrepreneur is all that in a bag of chips, because you get to create. You get to take ownership. Life is not just happening to you. You are not just a passive participant in life. You are an active participant in creating a different future. That's why entrepreneurship is awesome. You have a hands-on creating something different for you, different for your family, different for your finances. Number 2, why being an entrepreneur is awesome is there is no income ceiling. In traditional jobs, you're often paid an hourly rate or a salary rate. And maybe you get a slight increase every year. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go multiple years without a slight increase, or maybe you do get an increase, but it is a, very small percentage. When you are an entrepreneur, there is literally no ceiling to what you can make. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're like, yes, there is a ceiling. I've been making this amount for this many years. Get in the Prosperity with Purpose mentorship, and let's get you to create some more peace and some more rhythms, and be aware of where your time is going, be aware of what your zone of genius is and the things that you can delegate out. Like, you should be able to continually grow. And if you're not, there's a red flag of something that we can be to have acceptance in. That's another episode of mine: acceptance, awareness, ownership, intentionality, and accountability to create a different future. But there is no income ceiling to the entrepreneur. It's amazing. You're amazing. You're in the right profession, you entrepreneur, you business owners, you. Okay, number 3, they work when they want to and they take off when they want. Okay, let's not forget how amazing this freedom is. And if you're not experiencing that freedom as an entrepreneur, again, let's get you in the mentorship, because we work hard around here, but we also play hard. And you went a different route of being an entrepreneur to have the freedom to do that, to take off a day in the middle of the week if you want to or need to go on as long of vacations as you want, and have a team of people or automation in place so it does not fall apart without you. This is so important. We still need to live our lives. You still are a person outside of your business. You still are involved in your church, in your community, with your family, with service organizations. You are not only your job. And if you are currently only living your job, I would be honored to help you find balance. I am the coach for the overwhelmed business owner, to help them create more peace to make more money. So, entrepreneurs, you work when you want and you take off when you want. It's incredibly amazing. Number 4, you inspire others to dream just by living the example of your life. Satan is so quick to try to like make us feel small or make us to feel like our unconventional way that we are earning a living for our family isn't important, or it's not as important as traditional jobs, or maybe, but this person went to college for this degree. So they're like, what if everything is neutral? What if it doesn't matter? What if you're not better than them and they're not better than you and vice versa? But you living out a different way, a non-traditional way to do that, simply inspires people just by seeing them live. You make those choices, you live out your life, you having the balance, you getting to do things with your kids in the middle of the day, you creating a different future, it continually are having no ceiling to the amount that you earn. You just living that out, you sharing there's power in our testimony. You just sharing that story, putting yourself out there on social media to be obsessed with helping her, not be what people are going to think about me, but know that you are out there to help her. Like that is so inspiring to others. And I do not want to discount that. I often discount that in my own life. And then I'll hear from someone that I was like so inspiring to them that I don't even know. Or that I do know. And I had no idea they're even paying any attention to me. And it was just so encouraging, like, because God has called us to live out our life. You are a person of purpose who lives on purpose. And when you do that, it breaks shackles off of other people. It's fascinating, the obedience in this and the ripple effect of your obedience in this. Number 5, why being an entrepreneur is awesome, because you provide a good or a service that people genuinely needs, that genuinely helps meet a need in others. This is beautiful. You provide an answer somebody else needs. I mean, how fun is that? How fun that in your career, you are doing something that somebody else desperately needs. They've been praying for, they've been looking for. It helps serve their family. It helps provide something for them. I feel like I love what I get to do. In my Plexus business, I help people with health and finances. The two biggest stressors in people's lives is their health and their finances. The two biggest reasons they lose sleep at night, the two biggest reasons for divorce is health issues and money. Money, 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 money. And I get to help people with that. Within my coaching practice, I genuinely get to help the overwhelmed business owner create more peace. We do so much extensive and experiential work on our thoughts, on our feelings, on creating patterns, on time management, your thoughts and management around money, hiring, delegating, rest, actual sales and marketing from an elevated point of view. Like, I genuinely help people. They have breakthroughs when they get coached. They have breakthroughs when they listen to my training. They come out different, and I get to play a small part in that. And I love that. So what do you do that you love, that provides something that meets a need in someone? What a gift that your work has purpose, that your work has meaning, that your showing up, your contribution to the world makes a difference. It does. You do. If you're an entrepreneur, it does. And then the last one of why being an entrepreneur is all that and a bag of chips is because it requires you to stretch and grow. It demands that you evolve. It requires a personal and professional transformation, y'all. People think that being a business owner is just strictly about business. No, so much of what will be required of you to be a successful entrepreneur is going to be working through discomfort. Woo, a lot of it. Learning new skills, leaving others behind, an old job or an old group of friends or an old way of thinking. Like, it is going to require a different version of you. And that is exciting because it's going to require a healthier version of you. It's going to require you to do hard things and go through hard emotions. Like, I'm wording these things as if that are hard because, yeah, entrepreneurship is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not like, it's literally not sitting there on your couch doing nothing, although I mean, I can sit on my couch and work my business. I can lay by my pool and work my business by my phone, but there still is work because it will require a different you. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're like, this isn't working, I wasn't made for this. It's because you get to grow into the person that this was made for. We all start at start. Okay, so stop comparing yourself to the person who is leaps and bounds in front of you and has been doing this for much longer and has had much more personal growth and invested much more hours, times, and books, all the things, podcasts, mentorships, coaching, all the things. You start at start. Okay, but being a successful entrepreneur will not allow you to stay at start. It goes as you grow. Within our Plexus business, we like to say this is like being the business owner, an entrepreneur, is personal growth and development with a compensation plan attached. I truly believe the more that you stretch, grow, evolve, transform, the more your paycheck will increase. Let me say that again, because if you're not liking where your paycheck is at, the more you personally transform, grow, stretch, evolve, the more your paycheck will increase. That's just a great baseline for you. So if you're noticing your paycheck is not increasing, guess what you get to do? And being an entrepreneur is all that and a bag of chips. So really quickly again, all the reasons I want to remind you why what you're doing is awesome, why what you're doing is important, why you don't want to go back to traditional work, why you don't want to go back to the safety of a traditional job, because you get to create a different future as an entrepreneur. You have no income ceiling. You work when you want and you take off when you want. You inspire others to dream just by living the example of your life. You provide a good or service that genuinely helps people and meets a need. And you get to stretch and grow and evolve and transform. And it's beautiful and it's important. And when you do it, it will inspire others to do it too. Genuinely, the best job out there, being your own boss. Amen. Amen. See you next time.